Hello, welcome to the first Soccerlens Monday European Football Podcast. My name's Andy Brassell. Now we're going to be looking back at the games from Europe over the weekend, and we've got to start in Spain with a big one there on Saturday night between Valencia and Barcelona. A 0-0 draw with Barcelona losing their 100% record for the season and their lead at the top of the league being cut to just 1 point in front of Real Madrid. Now this was really important, not just because the way Valencia dominated. They had the chances to win the game. Victor Valdez was excellent in goal for Barcelona, and if David Villa had been fit for the home side, their penalty box killer, it's almost certain they would have taken those chances and gone on to win the game. But it was the way Valencia played, without fear, that they really attacked Barcelona, and it was like the Spanish Football Daily Marca said the day after, Valencia proved that you can give Barcelona a game without parking the bus in front of the goal. And I think this has a positive effect for our view of the Spanish Liga over this season, because I think there was a big feeling not only it would be a two-horse race between Barcelona and Real Madrid, but the two such footballing superpowers create a real climate of fear and sort of encourage negative football in a lot of the games. And with this game between Valencia and Barcelona and the one between Sevilla and Real Madrid a couple of weeks ago before the international break, where Sevilla beat Real Madrid by attacking them with a real aggressive style of play, I think this bodes well for the excitement that we will hopefully have in the Liga this season, even though the competitors have perhaps cut down a little bit between Atletico and Villarreal, not really starting the season so well, but hopefully it won't be a two-horse race anyway. Now next we're going to stop in northern Italy, and we're looking at the two Milan clubs. Good wins for both of them. Milan being inspired by Ronaldinho to come back and beat Roma, and of course every football fan loves to see Ronaldinho doing his stuff, and a lot of us have wondered if we've seen the best of him, and it's been and gone. At just 29 years old, he's been very disappointing over the last couple of years, both for Barcelona and Milan, but he inspired last night. Roma 1-0 down, and Ronaldinho scored the equaliser from a penalty, then set up Alexandre Pato for the winner with a lovely dribble around a couple of players and a fantastic pass. Now, about the question, will we see the old Ronaldinho? I don't think so. I think we have to accept that the player who had dynamic runs, who could change pace and get past 2 or 3 players in the blink of an eye, he's been and gone. But what Ronaldinho does still have is an exquisite touch, the ability to pass through the eye of a needle, and the ability to score goals. Even at his worst last season, he did still score 10 goals in a rather disappointing season for Milan. So he can still become the heartbeat of this Milan team that's rather on reduced means, but he can still be the playmaker for them and still get the best out of the youthful running of Alexandre Pato up front. With Inter, they enjoyed a thumping 5-0 win at Genoa, one of the teams who've started the season pretty well. Now, Genoa didn't really help themselves. Hussein Kharja, their star playmaker, he's injured, so they missed him badly. Genoa gave the ball away far too much in their own half, which directly led to 2 of the goals, certainly. But if we look at the playmaker on the other side, Wesley Sneijder, now what a key signing he could be for Inter. It's not just the fact that they desperately needed a creative midfielder, and he set up the second goal for Mario Balotelli with a great pass, but it's the fact that he releases the midfield players like Balotelli, like Dejan Stankovic, who aren't really suited to the playmaker role, to do their thing, bombing forward into the box. And both Balotelli, as we said, and Stankovic scorers on Saturday. So this bodes well for them, and also it bodes well for Mourinho. It's very unlike one of his teams not to stop at 2-0 and to go on and really rout another team. And this is what they've been missing, you know, the excitement of going on, really dominating teams and playing great football. Can they transfer that to the Champions League? Well, we're about to start to find out this week when they take on Dynamo Kiev. So it's the point where Mourinho can perhaps take his reputation as a trainer onto the next level, not just as a winning trainer, but a trainer who produces great football. Now, I think we've got to have a brief little stop in Germany to mention the big game there between Hamburg and Bayer Leverkusen. We were expecting a really exciting game between the top 2 and the top 2 scorers in the most goal-happy league in Europe, when you know it, 0-0 draw. Finally, we're going to stop in France, where Lyon lost their unbeaten record in all competitions this season. They're still at the top on goal difference from the excellent Montpellier, but they lost 2-0 at home to Sochaux. A lot of criticism of them in the French papers and media this weekend about how poorly they played, but really I think we have to concentrate on Sochaux. They had an absolutely terrible week with the loss for the season of their star player, the US striker Charlie Davis, who's become so influential for them so quickly. He was involved in that awful car crash, and of course we send him our best wishes, which may lead to him missing the World Cup next summer. In Sochaux, a relatively modest team who've lost a lot of big players over the last couple of years, including Mevlut Erding, the Turkish striker, to Paris Saint-Germain, who Davis was replacing. But they showed such great spirit, such great unity to go to a big club in Lyon and put in a great performance and win that game. So really we have to give big props to Francis Gillot, the coach, and all his team there for getting them on the right track and producing that great performance. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for joining us. I'll be back every Monday for more of the same. You can catch more of my stuff on my own site as well, which is www.allornothingtv.net. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the Champions League and Europa League games this week, and I'll see you again next Monday.